Ladies and gentlemen, today is once again another episode of the Call of Duty Weekly Reload, the series where we dive into what basically happened in Call of Duty in a given week, what is coming next, and what we can expect moving forward. Today is no exception to that, as we are going to be looking at the next update coming to Black Ops Cold War and Warzone, what is going to be inside it, and what we have to look forward to this week. And then after that, we have a bunch of leaks for the next Warzone map, the World War II Warzone map for the next Call of Duty game, and we'll dive into that in a little bit more detail, talking about how we know all of these things and what they actually are, because some of them are very surprising. So that's what we have to look forward to today. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So starting out, we have the new playlists for this week. So what we had last week was Collateral Strike 24/7. That's the smaller version of Collateral, the 6v6 version. This week we are getting Collateral Combined Arms 24/7, which is the 12v12 with vehicles, the bigger team game that is coming. As well as this, we have a new playlist called Throwback Mosh Pit. This includes maps like Nuketown 84, Raid, Express, Standoff, and Hijacked, basically all old Black Ops maps and all of them that have been implemented in the game in one playlist, which is pretty cool. We are also getting Gunfight 3v3 Snipers as a featured playlist as well. So on top of this weekend, we also have Double XP and Double Weapon XP coming on July 2nd from 10 a.m. Pacific time to July 6th, probably also on 10 a.m. Pacific time. We also said in the blog post today, the new Zombies map, More to Toten, if I'm saying that properly, we are going to be getting new teasers for it later this week, which means we're getting closer and closer to that mid-season update. And speaking of which, as I'm making this video, one of these teasers actually released. We can see some sort of Berlin newspaper. There's a sticky note on it that says cover story is working, Requiem asset is in place. It also says explosion at checkpoint, chemical gas leak, quarantine in effect. This is interesting, and it kind of already is giving us a little bit of information about the story of the map. So the other thing that we have for this week is the various different bundles that are coming out, a couple of different cool ones. The first one we have is the Hat Trick bundle. This has a bunch of different kind of football or soccer themed skins for Park, which is cool that you're getting a bunch of different skins in it. And there's also an SMG and a bunch of different like emblems, gestures, things like that we normally see in bundles as well. The second one that we have is called the Tracer Pack Sala, which is an operator bundle. This is the newest operator who will be coming to the game. In my opinion, the coolest part about this entire thing is that you actually have a Komodo dragon finishing move. So kind of like the dog that we've seen in the past, the Komodo dragon comes out and kills someone with a finishing move, which is really cool. So the last one that we have is the Tracer Pack Fireworks, and this one's pretty self-explanatory. It's for July the 4th. With this, you have an Adler skin who is decked out in stars and stripes. On top of this, you get an assault rifle, an SMG, and a pistol that all have basically firework tracer rounds, which is going to be really cool to see how that pans out. Last week we got a bunch of those paintball rounds, so they're doing really cool things with the tracer rounds, and this is just another example of that. Now moving into the next Call of Duty thing. So first of all, talking about the next Call of Duty, just Call of Duty World War II Vanguard or World War II, whatever you want to call it, we have a little bit more information, a little bit more confirmation that this game is going to take place during World War II. On the Blizzard website, the Activision Blizzard website, they have an Our Commitments page, which basically shows a picture of their various different games with various different characters. And the one you're looking at here is what you used to see. You can see right in the middle, you have Simon Ghost Riley front and center. That has been now changed. Ghost is no longer in there, and instead he has been replaced with a World War II soldier. Now, there was rumors that this had to do with Jeff Leach kind of getting kicked out of the Ghost role and them kind of pulling away from that, but that is actually not the case. This is just them promoting the next game, and this is kind of our first look at the actual World War II being put front and center. It hasn't been announced yet, but this is a good telltale sign, because it's from Activision and Blizzard, that this is what's going to be coming. And this ties into what we have next with the new leaks for the next Warzone map. So this next part, I'm going to give you what the news is, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of an opinion on it. So we talked about last week how there was a leak from VGC and Tom Henderson discussing the new Warzone map and basically saying it's going to take place in the Pacific Theater during World War II. It's going to be a whole brand new map. It's going to be bigger. We haven't got a confirmation whether or not it'll have more players on it, but there's going to be this big World War II map added into Warzone that's going to be completely separate from Verdansk. Now, with this, that lends to a lot of questions, like, for example, are there only going to be World War II weapons in this? Can you not use the Modern Warfare weapons? Can you not use the Black Ops weapons? Or can you just use the Black Ops weapons? It's up in the air as of right now, but we do have information on a couple of things that are coming. So the first rumor revolves around it being kind of a little bit more like Firestorm, the Battlefield version of Battle Royale, essentially. And the current rumor with this is that there is going to be building destruction within this new map. So you won't be able to blow up entire buildings or knock them down. However, you will be able to shoot through entire walls, take out the walls, and then shoot through them, which will totally change the way people sit in buildings, because if they're sitting up against the wall, you just literally shoot the wall out or blow it up, and then you can shoot them through the wall, which is really interesting to me, something Call of Duty really has never done before. The other thing is new vehicles. We've talked about before them basically every single season adding a new vehicle to either Black Ops Cold War or to Warzone. This season we had the dirt bike, but apparently on this map we are going to be getting very, very, very new vehicles. We're going to be getting tanks, boats, and apparently airplanes, which we really have never seen in Call of Duty as well. So with this, the airplanes are pretty self-explanatory, but the tanks kind of worry me, because tanks have a giant explosive gun on it, essentially, and if it's really overpowered, people are just going to be going for those tanks and trying to drive them around and shoot people with them. So they really, really got to be careful with the balance of that. The other one is boats. Boats don't exist as of right now in Warzone because there's no water. You can't swim. So assumably with that, if they're doing the Pacific Theater, there's going to be water, and you probably will be able to swim in it and use boats on it as well, which I think is really cool. I was kind of hoping they were going to do that with Verdansk 84 because Black Ops already has the swimming, but they never actually went that route. The last piece of information we have about the map and the leaks revolving around it is an actual location on the map. So a couple weeks ago, there was basically a list of leaked locations that were going to be on the map, but Tom Henderson at VGC essentially said that at this point, most of those locations have already changed and they're completely reworking the map. But the one thing he did say is that one location that he thinks is going to be there is basically a giant Japanese battleship. So it'll be obviously on the water, and it'll be interesting because that would tie into the boat rumor that we talked about before and the idea that you're going to be able to swim. If they have a boat on the water, you can't just accidentally fall in the water and have your life ruined. So I guess there is going to be swimming on that map as well. But a giant Japanese battleship sounds like a really, really cool location to me. And with all of this, I'm really interested to see where it is actually going to go. Now, that's essentially all of the information we have as of right now. It's interesting that we're getting all of this information well before the game has even been announced, before we got any leaks for it or anything like that. Of course, we have the name leaked and we know that Sledgehammer's working on it, but that is pretty much it. Yet we're getting all of these Warzone leaks, which in my opinion is pretty interesting. So let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say about these leaks. What do you think about them making the World War II game? What do you think about the new map within Warzone? Think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? What do you think about the changes? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, always appreciate it if you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, like what you see, want to stay up to date on all my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Peace out.